Chapter 1963, Probability Approaching Zero. Through the introduction of the House Saint Sovereign, Lin Moyu learned that these seemingly ordinary people were actually the ancestors of various major families. Among the 100 people, there were 3 in the other shore realm. The rest were all peak god sovereigns. It made sense. If they were not lucky, they wouldn't have been able to cultivate to this level. There were many in the human race who were in the other shore and peak god sovereign realms. The House Saint Sovereign and the others must have selected those who had cultivated for a shorter time and had more opportunities to come and try. These ancestors were well aware of the importance of luck, and their growth was inseparable from good fortune. When they heard that Lin Moyu was a god sovereign at the age of 100, they were all astonished. The most outrageous was the one who wanted to marry off his hundreds of granddaughters to Lin Moyu. According to him, his hundreds of granddaughters were all stunning beauties, the best in the world. His idea was terrifying, but what was even more terrifying was that there were dozens of people who had the same idea. If it weren't for the presence of the House Saint Sovereign, Lin Moyu even suspected that these ancestor-level figures might directly force him into marriage. Lin Moyu stood at the entrance of the Cloud Mist Heavenly Palace inheritance site at the foot of the mountain, reflecting on his cultivation journey.
Luck does seem to be quite important.
He had narrowly escaped danger and turned misfortune into fortune several times. Not to mention the past, even this time when he was stranded in the outer domain, his experiences were unique. Not only did he not encounter fatal danger, but he also gained many benefits. Lin Moyu thought,
perhaps this is what they call luck, some kind of invisible force.
Thinking of this, Lin Moyu suddenly felt a sense of respect for this intangible force. The unseen and untouchable power was truly terrifying. It was difficult to find its source, impossible to trace its cause, and impossible to guard against.
I wonder what the inheritance of the Cloud Mist Heavenly Palace will be.
While pondering, Lin Moyu entered the entrance. The mist rolled, and faint tremors came from the mountain. The House Saint Sovereign's gaze fell on the mist-covered mountain, as if trying to see inside. Unfortunately, even as a Saint Sovereign, he couldn't see anything at this moment.
Hope he succeeds.
He muttered to himself, his voice carrying a hint of heaviness. Clearly, the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect was very important. But relying on luck, he had no confidence. Lin Moyu passed through a layer of dense fog where he couldn't see his hand in front of his face and found a mountain path before him. The mountain path was paved with green jade, looking extremely smooth, winding up along the mountain. He could see about 20 meters of the path, beyond which it was shrouded in dense fog, making it impossible to see clearly. The House Saint Sovereign hadn't told Lin Moyu the specific content of the test, only that he would know once he got inside. With doubts in his mind, Lin Moyu stepped onto the green jade path. Suddenly, a voice sounded in his ear.
The inheritance test begins. Please walk along the green jade path to the top of the mountain. Do not leave the green jade path. Leaving it will be considered a failure. If you encounter a dead end, you have 3 chances to turn back. If you use up all 3 chances, you will fail.
That's it. Lin Moyu was stunned for a moment. The rules were very simple. You cannot leave the green jade path, and you have 3 chances to turn back. In other words, apart from these 3 chances, you cannot turn back.
Encountering a dead end, is this test a maze?
Lin Moyu immediately grasped the key point and understood the true nature of the test. He didn't start immediately, he wasn't in a hurry. The test didn't require speed, so it didn't matter if he was fast or slow.
A maze-like test means I will face countless choices. If I choose correctly, I can continue forward. If I choose incorrectly, I will be eliminated. But I can try countless times, which also means that each choice is different. In other words, this maze is constantly changing. Such a test, if viewed from the outside, would have no secrets, so the entire mountain is shrouded in mist. Yes, very simple rules, but also very practical.
Lin Moyu realized that trying to remember each choice would be useless, as each test was different. All he could do was rely on luck or find the differences to find the correct path. But an ancient sex test was unlikely to have differences. It was most likely based on luck. Lin Moyu finally moved, stepping onto the green jade path and moving forward. With each step, the green jade path behind him was shrouded in mist, meaning there was no way back.
The 3 chances to turn back only appear after the first choice. Having 3 chances also means that luck fluctuates. There are good times and bad times, and choices made during bad times will naturally be wrong.
As he pondered, Lin Moyu walked 20 meters along the green jade path. The mist in front of him cleared, revealing a fork in the road. The fork split into 2 paths, winding up on both sides, each about 20 meters long, with the ends still shrouded in mist. A choice between 2. Lin Moyu now had to choose one of the 2 green jade paths.
Just as I thought, the Cloud Mist Heavenly Palace uses the simplest test method, just like the rules, with no complexity. Such a test method purely relies on luck. You don't even need to use your brain. What if a cultivator with pure luck but no courage comes? Would this really be useful?
Lin Moyu pondered and casually chose the left path. Here, his strength was limited, but his soul's sensitivity remained unchanged. He couldn't feel any difference between the 2 paths. They were exactly the same. Since that was the case, it didn't matter which one he chose. As for right or wrong, it was entirely up to his luck. The test rules were extremely simple. No wonder the House Saint Sovereign hadn't mentioned them. There was no need to. After making his choice, the green jade path behind him remained, unlike before when it disappeared. If he regretted his choice now, he could turn back to the fork and choose again. He had 3 chances to turn back. Reaching the end of the green jade path again, the mist cleared, revealing another fork with 2 paths. This time, the green jade path behind him disappeared.
My choice was correct. There was no dead end. The chances to turn back only apply to the current choice, not previous ones. 1 choice every 20 meters, a 10,000-meter high mountain, plus the winding path, means the distance to walk is far more than 10,000 meters. Nearly 1,000 choices. Even if the number of choices doesn't increase later, it's always a choice between 2. Calculating the probability of making the correct choice each time is infinitely low.
Even with Lin Moyu's mind, he couldn't calculate the success rate of making the correct choice each time. He could only roughly estimate that the success rate was already shockingly low, far less than 1 in a billion. Lin Moyu's eyes showed contemplation.
If the choices increase later, to 3 or even 4 options. If it's purely based on luck, the probability of getting it all right will approach 0. Can anyone really pass such a test?
At some point, a fire was lit in the village at the foot of Cloud Mist Mountain. The ancestors began roasting meat and cooking. Clearly, they were all peak god sovereigns or even other shore realm experts, but here they lived like ordinary people. Their strength was suppressed, but using storage treasures was still possible. Their treasures contained enough food to last them thousands of years. As they cooked delicious food, they discussed Lin Moyu.
The House Saint Sovereign seems to have a special interest in Lin Xiaoyu. I guess, does Lin Xiaoyu have some relationship with the House Saint Sovereign? Are you saying, an illegitimate child? Don't talk nonsense. With the House Saint Sovereign status, if he had descendants, why would he need an illegitimate child? Well, you never know.
1964, 1964. Chapter 1964. Every choice is correct. The conversations of the ancestors were all heard by the House Saint Sovereign. His mouth twitched occasionally. Who would have thought that these highly respected ancestors outside would be so gossipy? Not only gossipy, but they could also speak nonsense with a straight face. He really didn't know how they came up with those stories. They even fabricated a complex story about Lin Moyu's background, each one speaking as if it were true. After listening for a long time, the House Saint Sovereign finally couldn't hold back and turned his head to say in a low voice,
Enough!
His voice was like muffled thunder, exploding in the village, and the village immediately fell silent. The few ancestors who were discussing the most enthusiastically all shut their mouths. After a few seconds of silence, someone finally spoke up fearlessly.
The House Saint Sovereign really values him. Yes, he got angry so quickly. I think this matter is not simple. Indeed, it's not simple.
The House Saint Sovereign was completely speechless. These old guys, he couldn't hit them, nor could he kill them. In the end, he could only choose to ignore them, closing his hearing to avoid listening to their nonsense. Even a Saint Sovereign has many helpless moments. Lin Moyu made choices one after another, moving faster and faster. Each time, he didn't need to think and directly chose the left path. A very simple choice repeated hundreds of times without exception. But the result was very surprising to Lin Moyu. All his choices were correct. 1 or 2 times, even 10 or 8 times being correct was not strange. But being correct hundreds of times was abnormal. It was like a test paper where all the multiple choice questions had the same answer. Even the best student would feel uneasy. Lin Moyu felt the same way now. After making the same choice hundreds of times and being correct each time, he began to doubt his previous thoughts.
Could it be that this is not purely a test of luck? Could it be that there are some factors I don't know about in the test? If there are, what could they be?
No matter how he thought, he couldn't come up with any other factors.
Let's test it.
Lin Moyu decided to verify his thoughts. At the next fork, he chose the right path. He quickly walked 20 meters to the end, the mist cleared, and another fork appeared with 2 paths. He chose correctly again. Lin Moyu continued to choose the left path for the next 10 times, and all were correct.
This probability is abnormal.
His suspicion grew stronger, feeling more and more that something was wrong. But he couldn't find anything wrong, nor could he figure it out. He then began to choose directions randomly, but without exception, all were correct. His speed was already very fast, and in less than half a day, he had made 200 choices. Every 20 meters was a choice, and after 200 choices, he had walked 4,000 meters. Considering the mountain was 10,000 meters high, he had completed about 1/3 of the journey. At the 201st fork, something finally changed. 3 paths appeared before him, turning into a 3-way choice. Lin Moyu didn't hesitate and chose the middle path. Another correct choice, no dead end. The more this happened, the more puzzled Lin Moyu became. It was impossible for all his choices to be correct, yet they were.
Why is this happening? What exactly is luck? Is it really because my luck is good enough that I can always choose the correct path? Or is it because my luck is good enough that no matter what I choose, the result is always correct?
Suddenly, Lin Moyu stopped. He seemed to have thought of something. Combining his previous experiments, Lin Moyu finally began to understand.
It's not that my choices are all correct, but because of my luck, my choices are correct. Choosing is just a process. The result is already determined. And the factor determining the result is my luck. The cloud mist sect must have a way to test luck, so the test can determine the result based on my luck. In that case, no matter what I choose, it will be correct.
Relying on his judgment, Lin Moyu began to choose randomly. Left, right, or middle, without thinking, he chose randomly. The result was the same. No matter what he chose, it was correct. Later, Lin Moyu always chose the left path, and the result was still the same. As he quickly advanced, his mind kept thinking.
The cloud mist sect chooses disciples with good luck, but it can't rely solely on luck. There must be other tests. Otherwise, if a fool with extraordinary luck passes the test, it would be a joke. Ancient strong beings wouldn't do something so brainless.
Soon, Lin Moyu passed another 200 forks. At this point, he had completed 2/3 of the journey, matching the highest record so far. This record was set 2,000 years ago by a peak god sovereign. Now, this peak god sovereign had become an other shore realm expert. He had returned but never broke his own record, not even matching it. At the 401st fork, the mist cleared, revealing 4 paths. The last third of the journey had changed from a 3-way choice to a 4-way choice. Each time, there was only a 25% success rate, further reducing the probability of being correct. But Lin Moyu didn't think much and continued to choose the left path. As he stepped onto the green jade path, he suddenly felt an invisible force fall on him. The force was very subtle, and even with his soul, he had to be very careful to sense it. Others wouldn't feel anything.
There's a change. It's not that simple.
Lin Moyu thought as he quickly walked the 20 meters. The mist cleared as usual, and 4 paths appeared again. Lin Moyu chose the left path again and felt the same force fall on him.
What exactly is this?
The force was too subtle. Although he sensed it, he couldn't identify it. It didn't seem like a law, it was intangible, and he didn't know its purpose.
It should be a power above the supreme realm, too high for me to understand. But for now, it doesn't seem dangerous. It's not an attacking force.
Lin Moyu continued to make his choices, always choosing the left path, and continued forward. Each choice was correct. There were no dead ends. After 10 more choices, Lin Moyu found that the mysterious force didn't appear every time. Out of 10 times, it appeared about 8 times. But with too few reference points, Lin Moyu couldn't figure out the reason. The subsequent choices were the same as before. The force appeared most of the time and fell on him. Lin Moyu kept counting one choice after another. Each choice was correct, and everything seemed to be going well. Lin Moyu felt he was getting closer to the mountaintop.
150 choices left.
Lin Moyu counted in his mind. With 150 more choices, he would complete the last segment of the Green Jade Path, reach the mountaintop, and enter the Cloud Mist Heavenly Palace. Suddenly, he stopped. He had reached the end of the mist, but the mist didn't clear. Instead, a dead end appeared. The Green Jade Path ended, with no new forks, and a high wall stood before him.
A dead end.
1965. Chapter 1965. Not a reward, but a trap. Lin Moyu stood at the end of the Green Jade Path, facing a high wall, lost in thought. Did the appearance of a dead end mean his luck had run out? He had already navigated 450 forks, with only 150 more to reach the end. It seemed that nothing had changed. He was still himself, and his luck remained the same. But something must have changed. Otherwise, according to his previous assumptions, a dead end wouldn't have appeared. Considering all the details, Lin Moyu continuously sought the accurate answer.
The appearance of a dead end isn't due to my choices, but rather due to luck. As long as the luck is good enough, any choice will be correct. But my luck hasn't changed, so the issue isn't with me but with that mysterious force. Out of 50 choices, the mysterious force appeared 40 times. Each appearance should be an accumulation, gradually increasing in strength and eventually causing an impact. The impact should be on my luck. This mysterious force has affected my luck. That must be it. The Cloud Mist sect has a way to measure luck and can determine the outcome based on its strength. But they wouldn't choose a successor based solely on luck. There must be other factors. If I'm not mistaken.
A smile appeared on Lin Moyu's lips, and his eyes sparkled like stars.
If I'm not mistaken, the last 200 choices require observation and thought. From the 4 paths, I need to choose the correct one as much as possible. This can reduce the influence of the mysterious force, ensuring the correct result. Yes, that's it.
Lin Moyu clapped his hands, finally understanding completely. He believed his choice was mostly correct, but out of caution, he needed to verify it. Lin Moyu began to retreat using his 3 chances to turn back. He retreated 20 meters to the 4-way fork. As he retreated, Lin Moyu keenly felt a trace of the mysterious force leaving him. When he returned to the fork, the leftmost path disappeared, turning the 4-way choice into a 3-way choice.
It seems the mysterious force indeed affected me. My luck hasn't changed but was suppressed by this force.
Lin Moyu felt a sense of realization, and the first step of verification confirmed his guess. He carefully sensed the departing mysterious force, measuring it. Previously, he had accumulated 40 portions of the mysterious force, and now about 10 portions had left. Based on this calculation, in the next 10 choices, regardless of right or wrong, the result would be correct.
Second verification.
Lin Moyu thought, making another choice. He had always chosen the leftmost path, and after retreating, he still chose the leftmost path. The initial path had disappeared, so the current leftmost path was previously the second from the left. In fact, it didn't matter which path he chose. Any choice would be the same. He quickly reached the end of the green jade path. The mist cleared, and 4 forks reappeared. Another 4-way choice, and this time Lin Moyu didn't feel the mysterious force. He continued choosing the leftmost path, moving forward, and sensing the force.
Once. Twice. 10 times.
After 13 choices, the mysterious force didn't appear 3 times. Accumulating 10 times again, Lin Moyu murmured,
"This time, I should encounter a dead end."
He quickly made his choices and soon reached the end, facing a high wall. No way forward, another dead end. Lin Moyu's eyes showed joy. He knew his guess was correct. The mysterious force indeed affected his luck, thus influencing the result. Lin Moyu began his second retreat, shaking his soul and carefully sensing all external changes. As he retreated, another portion of the mysterious force left his body. This time, the departing force was smaller, only 5 portions. Returning to the fork, Lin Moyu muttered,
"Half as much as last time. Each retreat reduces the number of attempts."
With fewer chances, Lin Moyu continued his verification. As expected, after 7 choices, he encountered another dead end. On his third retreat, only 2 portions of the mysterious force left. Lin Moyu's third verification confirmed his understanding. After several consecutive choices, he encountered another dead end. This time, he had no more chances to retreat. The green jade path behind him had disappeared. His test had reached its end. However, the final test brought some changes. In front of the stone wall, a pearl floated. It looked flawed and wasn't very beautiful.
"Is this the fragmentary inheritance?"
Lin Moyu recalled what the village elders had said. If the test failed, some rewards would be given based on the results. In their eyes, it was a form of encouragement to try harder next time and achieve better results. But Lin Moyu didn't see it that way. Luck couldn't be increased by encouragement. Luck wasn't like cultivation. It was mostly predetermined. Either you have it or you don't. Lin Moyu believed the Cloud Mist sect wouldn't do something so trivial. So what were these rewards? Based on the experiences of those who had come before, Lin Moyu had an answer.
"It's not encouragement but a trap. If you take the reward, the difficulty of the next test might increase. That's why those who passed the test and received rewards often performed worse in subsequent tests."
Lin Moyu didn't take the pearl but stepped aside from the green jade path. An irresistible force fell on him, blasting him out. Outside the mountain, the mist suddenly rolled violently.
"Hey, the test is over. What a pity he didn't reach the top. Haha, we get to see a human meteor again. Come on, let's bet on how long Lin Moyu will be stuck in the ground. I bet at least an hour, 100,000 units of belief power. Small bet, I bet 200,000 units of belief power, and he'll be stuck for at least 2 hours.
Betting became intense. From their experience, Lin Moyu would soon fly out of the mountain and crash headfirst into the ground. He would remain stuck until he regained control of his body. Someone even shouted to the House Saint Sovereign.
"House Saint Sovereign, you can't help this kid."
The House Saint Sovereign had closed his hearing and didn't hear them. But seeing the expressions of these old guys, he knew what had happened. This wasn't the first time and he was experienced. His eyes showed a hint of disappointment.
"Lin Moyu didn't make it either? Is this inheritance really unattainable?"
Under his gaze, Lin Moyu flew out of the mist. 1966. Chapter 1966. Why did he go back in? The House Saint Sovereign looked at the shameless old guys and said in a low voice,
"I'll bet with you. I bet Lin Moyu won't crash into the ground. Each of you bet 1 million units of belief power. If I lose, I'll pay double. Do you dare to bet?"
The House Saint Sovereign's sudden proposal made these old guys even more excited.
"Bet, why not bet? If I can win against a Saint Sovereign, I'll have something to brag about. Saint Sovereign, you better not regret it. And Saint Sovereign, you can't intervene.
The House Saint Sovereign laughed.
Just don't regret it yourselves. I won't intervene.
He then looked at Lin Moyu, who had just flown out, and said calmly,
Kid, don't embarrass me.
The House Saint Sovereign had plenty of belief power. He was purely doing this to get back at these old guys for making fun of him earlier. Moreover, he believed in Lin Moyu. When Lin Moyu had just flown out, his face was too calm, without a trace of panic. There was also a mysterious look in his eyes that was quite moving. So, on a whim, he made this bet. As a Saint Sovereign, he wasn't afraid of these old guys reneging on their bets. No one dared to do that to a Saint Sovereign. Lin Moyu felt an irresistible force surge into his body, causing him to lose control. He first flew high into the sky and then plummeted like a meteor. The final result would inevitably be a headfirst crash into the ground, creating a big pit. That scene would undoubtedly be very embarrassing.
So this is what the House Saint Sovereign meant by embarrassing.
Lin Moyu vaguely saw the situation on the ground. The ancestors seemed very excited, pointing and talking about him.
Are they trying to watch a joke?
Lin Moyu let out a light shout, and his whole body burst into purple gold light. The purple gold body fully activated, the light flowing and dispelling the external force. At the same time, the only undying law in his body exploded, the power of death eradicating the external force, and the power of life providing his body with vigorous vitality. In almost the blink of an eye, Lin Moyu regained control of his body. The fully activated purple gold body brought Lin Moyu immense strength, allowing him to fly in the air. Even if the laws were restricted, as long as his physical strength reached a certain level, he could still fly freely. Lin Moyu slowly descended from the sky, looking at the shocked crowd with a slight smile.
Seniors, what's wrong?
The stunned ancestors quickly recovered and repeatedly said,
Nothing, nothing.
But their expressions clearly showed that it was not nothing. Each of them had a bitter look, as if they were in great pain. The House Saint Sovereign laughed heartily as he walked over.
They lost the bet and are feeling the pain. Hurry up and hand over the bets. Don't make me do it myself.
Facing the Saint Sovereign, they didn't dare to renege on their bets. The ancestors, with bitter faces, said,
The Saint Sovereign is indeed the Saint Sovereign. We won't bet with you again.
The House Saint Sovereign laughed.
If you dare to make fun of me behind my back again, see how I deal with you.
The ancestors, with forced smiles, repeatedly said they wouldn't dare, each taking out belief tokens and handing them to the House Saint Sovereign. Lin Moyu was puzzled.
Aren't belief tokens unique to the Bai family?
The House Saint Sovereign explained.
Indeed, they are unique to the Bai family. However, the method to make belief tokens was handed over to the Human Emperor network long ago. As long as you reach the peak God Sovereign level and have enough merit points, you can exchange for them. These old guys have all exchanged for them. They usually make belief tokens to reward their juniors.
Each belief token contained 100,000 units of belief power. The House Saint Sovereign's bet with them was 1 million units of belief power each. There were 30 participants in the bet, and the House Saint Sovereign instantly earned 30 million units of belief power. It was no small amount, already exceeding Lin Moyu's entire wealth. The House Saint Sovereign directly handed all 300 belief tokens to Lin Moyu.
Take them.
Lin Moyu said.
This is too valuable.
The House Saint Sovereign shook his head.
It's not valuable. Given your contributions, this is nothing.
Lin Moyu didn't refuse further and accepted them readily.
Follow me.
The House Saint Sovereign led Lin Moyu out of the village. Before leaving, he warned the old guys with his eyes to behave. The ancestors, with bitter faces, knew that 1 million units of belief power were no small amount for them. Returning to the entrance of Cloud Mist Mountain, the House Saint Sovereign asked in a low voice,
How was it? Did you gain anything?
Lin Moyu replied,
How did you know I gained something?
The House Saint Sovereign said,
I'm a Saint Sovereign, after all. Do you think it's that easy to hide things from me?
Lin Moyu immediately flattered.
The Saint Sovereign's insight is indeed sharp. Enough with the flattery, just tell me.
Lin Moyu smiled.
I did gain something, but I need to verify it.
He explained his guesses and thoughts. The House Saint Sovereign frowned.
So you mean the first 400 choices purely test luck? As long as the luck is good, any choice will do. After 400 choices, a mysterious force intervenes, requiring a different approach.
Lin Moyu nodded.
That's my feeling. However, I haven't figured out the method yet, so I want to go back in and try again.
The House Saint Sovereign said.
You didn't take the fragmentary inheritance because you think it's not a reward but a trap. It does seem possible. Those who took the fragmentary inheritance didn't perform well in subsequent tests. We thought it was because their luck ran out, but it turns out to be something else.
Lin Moyu said.
Although I didn't take the reward, I can imagine that taking the fragmentary inheritance might permanently solidify that mysterious force. When I came out just now, the mysterious force had already dissipated.
The House Saint Sovereign nodded.
Then go back in and try again. I hope you gained something.
Lin Moyu was about to go back in when he suddenly turned and asked.
Saint Sovereign, is this inheritance very important?
The House Saint Sovereign replied.
It's important, but not crucial. We have a plan, and having this inheritance would be beneficial. I understand.
Lin Moyu re-entered Cloud Mist Mountain. Since the House Saint Sovereign said it was useful, it was clearly important. Therefore, he would do his best. The ancestors in the village watched Lin Moyu re-enter Cloud Mist Mountain, all curious.
Why did he go back in? Isn't he too hasty? He just came out, and his luck is used up. Going back in will yield poor results. Strange, the House Saint Sovereign should know this. Why didn't he stop him?
They were all experienced and knew that if you were just blasted out and immediately returned, the results would be poor. It was better to wait a while before going back in. They explained it as luck being used up and needing time to recover. After Lin Moyu went back in, the House Saint Sovereign returned to the village and said to everyone,
Those who have taken the fragmentary inheritance, come over.
Out of the 50 people in the village, more than half had taken the fragmentary inheritance. The House Saint Sovereign called them over and carefully inquired about the changes after they took the fragmentary inheritance. He found that their experiences matched Lin Moyu's description. The best among them only came close to their best results. The House Saint Sovereign didn't explain further. After asking, he let them leave and looked at Cloud Mist Mountain again, his voice low.
I hope this time there will be gains.
1967, 1967. Chapter 1967. The minimum standard is High Stage God Sovereign. In the mountains, Lin Moyu felt a stronger suppression than outside. The omnipresent mist became shackles, and even though his physical strength was sufficient, he couldn't fly in the forest. Lin Moyu pushed his speed to the limit, almost sprinting along the green jade path. Every time he reached a fork, he made a choice without hesitation, always choosing the leftmost path. Time and again, for 400 times, he did the same. The results once again verified Lin Moyu's hypothesis. For the first 400 choices, no matter what he chose, it was correct. It was his luck that determined the final result. The choice itself was not important, but luck was. After 400 choices, in addition to luck, some other judgment was needed. After 400 choices, if he chose incorrectly, the mysterious force would suppress his luck until it was exhausted, leading to a dead end. Lin Moyu knew very well what he needed to do. After the 400th choice, he had to find the correct path by distinguishing between right and wrong. The Cloud Mist sect would not choose a successor based solely on luck. They also valued analytical and judgmental abilities. Of course, luck was still very important. If one's luck was bad, they wouldn't even get past the first 400 choices, let alone the later ones. In just 1 hour, Lin Moyu stood at the 401st fork. In front of him were 4 different paths. The 4 green jade paths looked identical, except for some differences in the grass beside them. Other than that, There were no distinguishing features. Lin Moyu had noticed the grass before. Each path had differences, but they didn't form a pattern. He didn't think the choice was based on the changes in the grass.
What is the new test added by the Cloud Mist sect?
Lin Moyu fell into deep thought, trying to think from the perspective of the Cloud Mist sect. A powerful sect that valued luck would have certain requirements for its disciples during inheritance. Luck was one aspect, but what about the other aspects?
Character, comprehension, analytical ability, responsibility? All seem possible. Some things can't be tested, like character, which is hard to see without encountering significant events. So the most likely aspect is comprehension, which is closely related to intelligence, sensitivity, and talent. If it's a test of comprehension, how should it be comprehended?
Lin Moyu looked at the dense mist tens of meters away. The mist was not static but slowly rolling, like clouds in the sky. Clouds rise and fall, unpredictable. Lin Moyu thought of the name.
Cloud Mist sect.
And a gleam of understanding flashed in his eyes.
Cloud Mist sect. The name might not refer to clouds and mist but to luck. Luck is like clouds and mist, hard to grasp, with ups and downs. The same person has different luck at different times, sometimes extremely lucky, sometimes very unlucky. So, the essence of the Cloud Mist sect is luck. What about these 4 paths?
Lin Moyu looked at the 4 green jade paths and the mist above them. He watched the constantly changing mist, and gradually, a confident smile appeared on his lips.
I understand now.
The mist was always changing, representing that the 4 green jade paths were also constantly changing. No path was entirely correct. Right or wrong depended on the changes in the mist when stepping onto the path. At any given moment, one of the 4 paths would have more mist above it, while the other 3 would have relatively less. The path with more mist at that moment was the correct one. Based on his judgment, Lin Moyu chose the path with more mist and quickly moved forward. He swiftly covered the 20 meters of the green jade path and 20 steps, reaching the end. No mysterious force descended, and as he reached the end, the mist cleared, revealing 4 new paths. Lin Moyu observed the changes in the mist and found the correct path.
This time, it's the second from the left.
He silently noted and quickly moved forward. The mist was constantly changing. At this moment, the second path from the left had denser mist, but it might not be the same after a while. So even if he chose the correct path, there could still be unexpected changes before reaching the end. Moreover, the mist's changing speed was uncertain. It could be fast or slow. It was possible that halfway through, the mist's density would change, turning the correct path into the wrong one, and the mysterious force would descend directly. This aspect relied entirely on luck. Lin Moyu could only minimize his time on the green jade path. In the end, the Cloud Mist sect never abandoned the test of luck. They just changed its form. Sometimes, the mist on the 4 green jade paths was very similar, with differences of less than 1%. Ordinary people would find it hard to sense this 1% difference, but it was not difficult for Lin Moyu. With his soul sensitivity, he could detect even 1,000th of a difference. The subsequent journey became smoother, and Lin Moyu moved more confidently. Once he grasped the rules, it was no longer difficult for him. After another 100 choices, Lin Moyu stopped at a fork. He faced the 501st choice with 100 more forks to go. The situation changed again. There were still 4 green jade paths, and the mist still varied in density, but Lin Moyu felt something different. He sensed an inexplicable force on the green jade paths, like an unknown power.
Is the real test starting in the last 100 choices?
Lin Moyu murmured to himself, not acting immediately. He needed to observe carefully before moving. This test didn't require speed, so there was no need to rush.
The first 400 choices rely solely on luck. From the 401st to the 500th choice, understanding the changes in the mist ensures smooth progress. Starting from the 501st choice, besides luck and comprehension, what else is being tested? The changes on the green jade paths seem familiar, like I've seen them somewhere before.
Lin Moyu pondered, and distant memories resurfaced, bringing a sense of familiarity.
The small world, the divine selection secret realm, the power of divinity.
Lin Moyu suddenly felt that the green jade paths before him were similar to the paths in the divine selection secret realm of the small world. The divine selection secret realm targeted the spiritual world, which, from his current perspective, actually targeted the soul. The green jade paths before him should also include a test of the soul.
First luck, then comprehension, and now a test of the soul. In ancient times, the tests of major sects were not explicitly stated. They required personal comprehension. The tests were not easy, requiring luck, talent, and strength.
Lin Moyu fully understood that the final green jade paths tested not only luck and comprehension but also the soul.
I wonder what the soul requirement is. Is my soul up to the standard?
Taking a deep breath, Lin Moyu chose the correct path and stepped onto it. Boom! A powerful force struck his soul world. His soul world trembled violently, causing Lin Moyu to pause momentarily before returning to normal. Lin Moyu quickly crossed the green jade path, reaching the end before the mist changed. For new green jade paths appeared before him, and Lin Moyu stood still.
The soul impact is equivalent to a high-stage god sovereign, still within bearable range. It seems the Cloud Mist sect's minimum standard for selecting a successor is a high-stage god sovereign.
1968. Chapter 1968. You didn't make a single mistake? Lin Moyu gradually understood the Cloud Mist sect. It was a very peculiar sect. When they recruited disciples, the first thing they valued was not talent or aptitude but luck. Only those with sufficient luck were qualified to join the sect. After luck, they also required decent comprehension and good soul strength. The latter two were not difficult to enhance. Some rare treasures could improve comprehension and strengthen the soul. Lin Moyu believed that in the ancient times when the great world was incredibly resource-rich, such treasures were not uncommon. But luck was naturally determined. Although it could fluctuate, its upper limit was essentially fixed. So the most important factor was luck. Everything else was just a bonus. As long as one's luck was good enough, even if they didn't obtain the best inheritance, they would still gain something. Lin Moyu made choices repeatedly, enduring soul impacts. As he got closer to the end, the intensity of the soul impacts increased, but fortunately it didn't exceed the high-stage god sovereign level. This further validated Lin Moyu's guess that the soul was just a bonus factor. If the Supreme who controlled the inheritance of the Cloud Mist sect were still alive in ancient times, anyone who made it through the choices would be qualified to receive the Cloud Mist sect's inheritance. Unfortunately, that Supreme was no longer around, leaving only the rules. The rules wouldn't change. Without reaching the end, one couldn't obtain the inheritance. Finally, after completing the 600th green jade path, Lin Moyu truly stepped onto the mountain top. The dense fog in front of him cleared, revealing a massive palace. The enormous palace exuded an ancient aura, the aura of time. Majestic energy surged from within the palace, as if countless powerful beings resided inside. Looking at it, Lin Moyu felt as if he could sense the might of ancient times. The dense fog turned into clouds, drifting above the palace, and behind it was a pagoda. Lin Moyu felt immense pressure from the clouds, indicating that he couldn't reach the pagoda from the top of the palace.
Congratulations on passing the path of inheritance. Please enter the Cloud Mist Palace to receive the inheritance baptism.
A reminder sounded in Lin Moyu's ear, identical to the one he heard when he first stepped into Cloud Mist Mountain. After carefully admiring the Cloud Mist Palace, Lin Moyu strode inside. In the village at the foot of the mountain, someone suddenly exclaimed, pointing at the mountain top in shock.
Look, there's someone on the mountain.
The ancestors all looked up towards the mountain top. Above the clouds, they indeed saw a person there. Due to the distance and the fog, they couldn't see clearly. But based on the figure and clothing, they confirmed that the person on the mountaintop was Lin Moyu.
He really made it up there. By the Saint Sovereign, how did he do it? It's incredible. Could we have been wrong? Maybe you don't need to wait after being eliminated. You can enter immediately. I don't think so. We've tried so many times. We shouldn't be wrong. Then how did he get up there? I don't know. We'll have to wait for him to come back and ask.
The House Saint Sovereign also saw Lin Moyu and clenched his fist.
Well done!
His eyes showed excitement. Lin Moyu entered the Cloud Mist Palace, where clouds and mist also drifted, creating a dreamlike realm. The Cloud Mist sect lived up to its name with clouds and mist everywhere. The drifting clouds and mist also symbolized the unpredictability of luck. Clouds and mist swirled around Lin Moyu, spinning continuously. Lin Moyu looked puzzled.
Is this the inheritance baptism?
He didn't feel any changes. The so-called inheritance baptism should bring some changes.
You didn't make a single mistake?
A clear voice, filled with surprise and disbelief, echoed in the hall. Someone? Lin Moyu looked around and saw a thick white cloud rapidly condensing in midair in front of him. On the white cloud sat a girl who looked about 18 or 19, lazily lounging.
An artifact spirit.
Lin Moyu immediately recognized that she was not a living being but an artifact spirit. Whether she was the artifact spirit of the Cloud Mist Palace or another artifact spirit was unknown. The girl rubbed her eyes and then glared at Lin Moyu.
Hey, I'm talking to you. Why aren't you answering?
Lin Moyu replied.
I indeed didn't make a single mistake.
The girl looked him up and down with wide eyes.
You don't look very smart. How did you not make a single mistake? Could it be that your luck is so good that you always chose correctly?
Lin Moyu didn't respond. From the girl's words, he could tell that she didn't actually know the specifics of the test in Cloud Mist Mountain. Perhaps she was only in charge of the palace and the results. The girl suddenly waved her hand.
Let's just say you have good luck. According to the rules, you are qualified to become a true disciple and enter the Inheritance Pagoda. But let me warn you, entering the Inheritance Pagoda is dangerous. You might get trapped inside and never come out. Moreover, there are many inheritances in the Inheritance Pagoda. The probability of getting the best inheritance is less than half. And the probability of getting trapped inside is over 70%. If you don't want to go in, you can receive the inheritance here. I can choose a good inheritance for you. It might not be worse than what's in the Inheritance Pagoda. Think carefully before making a choice.
Lin Moyu felt that the girl wasn't telling the truth. She seemed to not want him to enter the Inheritance Pagoda to get the inheritance. Lin Moyu thought for a moment, showing a hint of hesitation.
Senior, is the Inheritance Pagoda really that dangerous?
The girl coughed, seemingly a bit displeased.
Do you think I would lie to you? The Inheritance Pagoda is indeed that dangerous. Out of 10 people who enter, only 1 or 2 get a good inheritance. Most get trapped inside for hundreds or thousands of years before coming out. So I advise you to honestly choose an inheritance here. I see that your aptitude is average, your realm is only at the first stage of God's sovereign, and your strength is weak. You just have good luck. Getting here is already impressive. I advise you not to risk entering the Inheritance Pagoda. I can help you choose the best inheritance in the Cloud Mist Palace, which won't be worse than what's in the Inheritance Pagoda.
Although she acted as if she was doing it for Lin Moyu's good, he could sense that she genuinely didn't want him to enter the Inheritance Pagoda. But why would she care? They were strangers. What was the artifact spirit's true motive? With too little information, Lin Moyu couldn't make a judgment yet. He decided to chat with her more, hoping to get more useful information. He slowly asked,
Senior, how long has it been since anyone came here?
The girl frowned.
Many years. She isn't sure either.
Lin Moyu thought, considering a possibility. He continued,
Senior, what happened to those who got trapped in the Inheritance Pagoda?
The girl snorted.
Nothing much. They were trapped for hundreds or thousands of years and then left. What did they do while trapped? What could they do? They were just trapped. Is the inheritance in the Inheritance Pagoda really that difficult? Of course, it's difficult.
The The more difficult it was, the stronger it would be. Lin Moyu got another key piece of information from the girl. Although the inheritance pagoda could trap people, it wouldn't kill them. After hundreds or thousands of years, they could still leave. This contradicted the girl's earlier statement about the dangers of the inheritance pagoda. Her words were exaggerated. She didn't want him to enter the inheritance pagoda for some other reason. 1969. Chapter 1969. The Pitiful Artifact Spirit, Lord Mist. Lin Moyu asked a few more inconsequential questions, all of which were answered by the girl. The girl seemed to answer every question, and Lin Moyu guessed that there must be some restriction requiring her to respond. From her answers, Lin Moyu gathered a lot of information and also found some contradictions in her words. These contradictions mostly expressed the girl's unwillingness for him to enter the inheritance pagoda. Having made up his mind, Lin Moyu decided he must enter the inheritance pagoda. Even if there was danger inside, he had to give it a try. Moreover, there was no real danger inside. At most, he would be trapped for a while. Lin Moyu had confidence in himself. He believed that even if he were trapped inside, it wouldn't be for long. The girl finally got annoyed. Frowning,
You've been asking this and that. Have you made your choice yet?
Lin Moyu smiled.
Senior, may I ask your esteemed name?
The girl replied,
You can call me Lord Mist. Have you made your choice yet?
Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry.
Lord Mist, you must have been asleep for a long time before I arrived, right?
The girl's expression changed, and she blurted out,
How did you know?
Realizing she had misspoken, she quickly corrected herself.
I just like to sleep. Why are you asking this?
Lin Moyu said,
It seems Lord Mist has been asleep for a long time and doesn't know how the outside world has changed.
Lord Mist was taken aback.
The outside world?
Lin Moyu continued,
Lord Mist should be able to sense that the Supreme of the Cloud Mist sect is no longer here.
Lord Mist finally reacted, as if waking from a long sleep.
What happened to the outside world?
Lin Moyu asked.
Do you know how long you've been asleep this time?
Lord Mist's eyes showed confusion. Although she didn't answer, Lin Moyu already knew the answer. He knew that Lord Mist had no idea how long she had been asleep or what had happened outside. If he hadn't appeared here, she would have continued sleeping. Thinking this way, this artifact spirit seemed somewhat pitiful. Lin Moyu asked,
Lord Mist, you are the artifact spirit of the Inheritance Pagoda and the Cloud Mist Palace, right?
Lord Mist bristled, shouting.
How did you know?
Realizing she had misspoken again, she added,
Whether I'm an artifact spirit or not is none of your business.
Lin Moyu smiled.
I guess if I enter the Inheritance Pagoda and obtain the highest inheritance, I will become your master. You don't want anyone to control you, so you don't want me to enter the Inheritance Pagoda. Am I right?
Lord Mist fell silent, her expression extremely complex. Lin Moyu knew he had hit the mark.
Actually, it's understandable. It's human nature, and the same goes for artifact spirits.
Lord Mist stared blankly at Lin Moyu, then snorted.
What do you know? You're not an artifact spirit.
Lin Moyu said,
I'm not an artifact spirit, but I've dealt with them, so I understand. No wonder you figured it out. You knew from the start.
Lord Mist finally realized that Lin Moyu had been probing her all along. Lin Moyu laughed.
Lord Mist, I choose to enter the Inheritance Pagoda. Please open the door for me.
Bound by the rules, Lord Mist had no choice but to comply. She snorted, and the dense mist in the Cloud Mist Palace rolled, forming a path leading straight to the top of the palace. At the top of the palace was the Inheritance Pagoda. Lin Moyu stepped forward, and Lord Mist urgently called out,
You haven't told me what happened outside.
Lin Moyu smiled.
No rush. I'll tell you everything once I obtain the inheritance. And I'll tell you a secret.
With that, he walked up step by step, and Lord Mist could only watch helplessly, unable to stop him. As an artifact spirit, she had many restrictions. This was the inheritance site of the Cloud Mist sect, also a rule world of a powerful being. In such an environment, her former master couldn't have given her too much authority. Instead, there would be many restrictions. At most, she could assist and do what she could. Lin Moyu guessed that she must have been very busy in the past. There should have been many people in the Cloud Mist sect, and the more people who came here, the busier she would be. But when everyone was gone, she fell into a deep sleep. Upon waking, she didn't know what had happened or how much time had passed. She only had her past memories, so she didn't want to be so busy again and wanted some freedom. Unfortunately, she would never have freedom. She didn't know that if Lin Moyu chose the inheritance in the Cloud Mist Palace and then left, she would instantly fall back into a deep sleep. Compared to the artifact spirits he had seen before, this Lord Mist seemed somewhat pitiful. Unable to control her own life, she was a great tragedy. Lin Moyu stepped onto the Cloud Mist steps and entered the inheritance pagoda. The scene before him changed, revealing an independent space completely different from the outside world. Here, Lin Moyu felt a peculiar aura, similar to Law's but seemingly higher than Law's. At this moment, Lord Mist reappeared in his sight. Lord Mist's attitude had changed, now filled with helplessness.
All right, now that you're here, let's start the inheritance test according to the rules. I'll tell you the specific rules of the inheritance, but you also promised to tell me what happened outside and the secret you mentioned.
Lin Moyu said,
Rest assured, Lord Mist, I will tell you everything that happened outside and the secret.
Telling him the rules of the test was something she had to do. However, she could also manipulate the information, perhaps omitting a word or two. Sometimes, a single word could change the entire meaning of a sentence, causing significant trouble. Artifact spirits are bound by rules, but the rules can't restrict them entirely. Artifact spirits have their own intelligence, can think independently, and have their own consciousness. Lord Mist said seriously,
The inheritance pagoda has 10 levels. The highest inheritance is on the 10th level, but the test focuses on the first 9 levels. Every 3 levels form a stage, divided into lower, middle, and upper stages. It's both a test and a rating for the sect successors. The first 3 levels are for ordinary successors, the middle 3 levels for core successors, and the upper 3 levels for grand successors. If you can surpass the 9th level, you can obtain the highest inheritance and become the master of the inheritance pagoda.
At this point, Lord Mist paused before continuing with the specific rules of the test.
The first stage is the test of the lower 3 levels. In the lower 3 levels, there is a technique you need to comprehend. Comprehend it initially to enter the 2nd level. Comprehend it to a small degree to enter the 3rd level. Comprehend it fully to enter the 4th level. As for the rules of the 4th level, I'll tell you when you get there. Now listen carefully to my reminders.
Lin Moyu listened attentively, not missing a single word.
This technique, although a basic technique of the Cloud Mist sect, should not be underestimated. Many techniques of the Cloud Mist sect are based on it. When comprehending it, you must not have any omissions and must not rush. Otherwise, you won't pass the subsequent tests. Also, comprehending this technique consumes a lot of soul power, so be prepared. The technique is in the mist. Go and comprehend it.
1970. Chapter 1970. So this is the true source. In the center of the inheritance pagoda, a mass of mist floated. The Cloud Mist sect was associated with mist everywhere, even using it for inheritance. Lin Moyu communicated with the mist using his soul, and the mist immediately drilled into his soul power. In his soul world, a mass of mist appeared, rolling continuously, transmitting a large amount of information. Lin Moyu knew he needed to comprehend this technique and transform it into a technique star. As long as he could transform the mist into a technique star, it would mean he had mastered this technique, at least reaching the entry level.
Does this kind of inheritance have any meaning?
Lin Moyu wondered. Technique stars are formed postnatally, like the soul-splitting technique taught by Antares, which can never become a technique star. If it can't become a technique star, its power is very limited, and the improvement to strength is also relatively limited. However, since the Cloud Mist sect did this, there must be a deeper meaning. Many things from ancient times, Lin Moyu still didn't understand. There seemed to be some difference between the strong of that time and the strong of today. Since he was already here, he had only one path to take: comprehend the technique. If he couldn't comprehend it, he would be trapped here for at least decades or centuries, or even thousands of years. Lin Moyu had confidence in his comprehension and was diligently digesting the transmitted information. Soon, he learned the name of the technique: luck detection technique. The purpose of the luck detection technique is to detect the luck of all things. But it is not completely accurate, only about 80 to 90% correct. The key is not the technique itself but the philosophy of the Cloud Mist sect contained within it. The Cloud Mist sect had a completely different view of the entire world. After absorbing the philosophy of the Cloud Mist sect, Lin Moyu was stunned on the spot. If living beings have luck, he could understand that. But the idea that everything has luck was beyond his imagination. In the philosophy of the Cloud Mist sect, everything in the world has luck. Even a stone has good or bad luck. A stone with good luck might exist for 10,000 years, or even 100,000 years. But a stone with bad luck might be smashed to dust in the next second. Everything is like this. When luck is bad, misfortune befalls and even death can occur.
Too profound.
Lin Moyu felt very uncomfortable. Since he started cultivating, he had seen many strange things, but no matter what, he could always find the root cause and understand why. But the philosophy of the Cloud Mist sect broke his viewpoint. In the philosophy of the Cloud Mist sect, everything indeed has luck, but luck is constantly changing. It might be very good now, but bad luck could descend in the next second. For example, 1 second you think someone can live a long life, and the next second you feel they are about to die. The Cloud Mist sect's explanation is that luck changes instantly, and nothing is fixed at any point. In this way, the luck detection technique seems unimportant. After all, what does it matter if you see it? Good now doesn't mean good later. Lin Moyu felt a bit chaotic, feeling very uncomfortable. His established cognition was broken, and this feeling was hard to bear. His brows furrowed tighter and tighter, unable to understand. Lord Mist sat on a white cloud, blinking her bright eyes at Lin Moyu. Seeing Lin Moyu's changing expression, she sighed deeply.
I told you not to come to the Inheritance Pagoda, but you wouldn't listen. Now look, don't drive yourself crazy.
Lin Moyu's thoughts were indeed a bit chaotic. The philosophy of the Cloud Mist sect conflicted greatly with his original views, representing a different understanding of the entire world, irreconcilable. His mind kept turning, and Lin Moyu kept telling himself,
there must be a common ground. Just because I haven't found it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. As long as I can find the common ground, I can understand why.
As long as he could understand this truth, he could combine his old views with the Cloud Mist sect's views, allowing the two to merge rather than conflict. Understanding and absorbing the philosophy of the Cloud Mist sect was the first step. If he couldn't do this, he couldn't even talk about comprehending the luck detection technique. Even if he forced comprehension, he could only reach the entry level, never mastering it.
But what is the common ground?
Lin Moyu's mind turned rapidly, sorting through his entire worldview. This was a vast project, very difficult. Days passed, and Lin Moyu sat there motionless. At the foot of Cloud Mist Mountain, the House Saint Sovereign stood like a statue, quietly watching the Inheritance Pagoda at the mountaintop. The first level of the Inheritance Pagoda was faintly glowing, indicating that Lin Moyu had entered. The House Saint Sovereign believed Lin Moyu was receiving the inheritance. The time to receive the inheritance could be long or short, possibly just a few days. Could also be very slow, taking years or even decades. The House Saint Sovereign had prepared for the worst and was waiting here, watching. As a Saint Sovereign, he could afford to wait. 100 days passed in the blink of an eye, and Lin Moyu's entire aura was surging, indicating the turmoil in his heart. He had completely overturned his memory, integrating his understanding of the Cloud Mist sect's philosophy into every experience. He simulated past events in his soul, considering how they would change if viewed through the cloud mist sex philosophy. During this time, his soul power was rapidly consumed, but fortunately, he had the world tree. The world tree swayed continuously, its powerful roots absorbing immense power from an unknown world, converting it all into soul power, supplying Lin Moyu endlessly. Golden lines of light flowed on the world tree, the divine power from the divine cauldron amplifying the world tree's power. This turned 1 unit of power into 10, allowing Lin Moyu to recover far faster than normal. Since obtaining the divine power, it had always subtly existed, not usually visible, but its effect was always present. As his realm improved, the effect of the divine power also increased. With or without the divine power, the recovery effect brought by the world tree was completely different. Supported by the world tree, Lin Moyu freely consumed his soul power, simulating past events. Gradually, he began to see the light. He finally started to understand the essence of the cloud mist sex philosophy. The violently surging aura finally began to calm, and a smile appeared on Lin Moyu's lips.
So that's how it is.
He exhaled deeply, opening his eyes after 100 days. A burst of brilliance erupted from his eyes. He had finally comprehended.
The so-called change in luck, the alteration of all things, its true source lies in causality.
He understood the philosophy of the cloud mist sect. Indeed, everything in the world is constantly changing. On the surface, it seems that luck has improved or worsened. Good luck makes everything smooth for living beings, allowing them to live long. For objects, good luck allows them to exist longer. For some special existences, good luck can even grant them intelligence. For example, Red Star Supreme. There are many stars like him, but few can gain intelligence. The root of good luck lies in causality. Behind the operation of the entire world, there is a hidden, undetectable web called causality. Changes in causality lead to changes in luck. This is the philosophy of the cloud mist sect. The root of their various luck techniques lies in causality. 1971, 1971. Chapter 1971. Enlightenment. The real world. Lin Moyu woke up to a pair of bright eyes staring at him. Lord Mist approached Lin Moyu and, after confirming he was fully awake, immediately asked,
You're awake. So, did you learn the luck detection technique?
As the artifact spirit of the Inheritance Pagoda, she was naturally very familiar with its contents. The first to third levels taught the luck detection technique. Based on one's mastery of the technique, it was decided whether one could advance to the next level or be eliminated. The worst outcome was failing to comprehend it, resulting in being trapped here until one either succeeded or was eventually expelled by the Inheritance Pagoda after a certain period. Lin Moyu shook his head.
I didn't learn it.
He spoke honestly. He hadn't learned it because he hadn't even tried. He had been focused on understanding the cloud mist sex philosophy of the world, finding the luck detection technique unimportant. Hearing Lin Moyu's response, Lord Mist spread her hands like an elder scolding a younger one.
I told you, you should have chosen a random inheritance from the Cloud Mist Palace. Why did you insist on entering the Inheritance Pagoda? Now look, you can't comprehend it and will be stuck here. Fortunately, it's just the first level. A few 100 years should be enough.
Lin Moyu laughed.
You don't seem to like me being stuck here.
Lord Mist snorted.
If you're stuck here, I have to watch over you. It's annoying.
Lin Moyu could sense that this artifact spirit was actually quite kind-hearted and not very scheming. She didn't know that if he left, she would fall back into a deep sleep. Otherwise, she probably wouldn't have said that. Lin Moyu said,
Although I didn't learn the luck detection technique, I did comprehend something else.
Lord Mist seemed disdainful.
What else could you comprehend besides the luck detection technique?
Lin Moyu replied,
The cloud mist sex philosophy of the world. What?
Lord Mist screamed, her whole demeanor changing as if she had been shocked.
Impossible. Absolutely impossible.
Lin Moyu was curious.
Why is it impossible?
Lord Mist, too agitated. spun around on her white cloud before speaking.
I've been here for many, many years, and only 3 people have ever understood the cloud mist sex philosophy. My old master said that those who can understand this philosophy are very, very rare, and each one has the potential to become a celestial sovereign.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Then why do you think it's impossible for me?
Lord Mist snorted.
You seem average in aptitude, not particularly smart, so it's naturally impossible. Besides, apart from my old master, the other 2 took many, many years, at least a few thousand years, to comprehend it. You've only been here for a short time. How could you possibly understand it?
Lin Moyu had comprehended it in 100 days, which was indeed far shorter than a few thousand years. Listening to Lord Mist, Lin Moyu realized that her master was not a supreme but likely a celestial sovereign. He thought for a moment and said,
I can see you greatly admire your old master.
Lord Mist snorted.
Don't mention him. Although he's my master and very powerful, I hate him. He always ordered me around, and it was so annoying.
Lin Moyu found this artifact spirit interesting. Besides having independent consciousness, she even had emotions similar to humans. If she had a human body, she could be considered a person, much more advanced than the formation spirit Shaojin. Lin Moyu continued.
Your old master was indeed powerful. After all, he managed the entire Cloud Mist sex inheritance, including you.
Although Lord Mist claimed to dislike her old master, she proudly said,
Of course, my old master was a celestial sovereign. I've heard that even among celestial sovereigns, few were more powerful than him. Indeed, a celestial sovereign.
Lin Moyu thought to himself and then asked,
Lord Mist, what was your master's name?
Lord Mist naturally replied,
My old master was known as Illusory Mist.
Illusory Mist Celestial Sovereign. This was the first celestial sovereign's name Lin Moyu had heard, and he memorized it. At this moment, Lord Mist continued,
Enough with the nonsense. You said you understood the Cloud Mist sex philosophy. Tell me, what is it? Don't try to deceive me. My old master told me some things about the Cloud Mist sect. I may not fully understand, but I remember everything. I have a good memory and won't forget, no matter how many years pass.
Lin Moyu thought for a moment and calmly said,
Causality and reality.
Lord Mist screamed again, flying around on her white cloud in excitement. She flew in circles for a while before calming down.
You really comprehended it? All of it?
Lin Moyu nodded.
I mostly understand it, but there are still some details to sort out.
Lord Mist's eyes were filled with complex emotions.
My old master once said it took him over 100 years to fully comprehend it. You did it in just 100 days. Are you smarter than my old master? If you truly comprehended it, you have a chance to reach the highest level and obtain the supreme inheritance. Then you'll become my new master. Promise me you won't bully me.
The once high and mighty Lord Mist suddenly turned into a delicate girl, pleading with Lin Moyu. Her pitiful appearance made Lin Moyu feel like a bad uncle. Lin Moyu smiled.
Why would I bully you? No matter the outcome, I'll tell you everything that has happened over the years.
Lord Mist responded with an
Oh.
And floated away.
Continue then. I won't disturb you.
Lin Moyu sat back down, closed his eyes, and quickly calmed his breath, entering a state of enlightenment again. He had indeed comprehended it, but there were still many details to sort out. His old worldview had been shattered, and a new one was beginning to form. His soul opened its eyes and began to murmur. The voice was like thunder, echoing in the soul world. At this moment, his soul exuded a terrifying aura, incredibly majestic.
Causality. Yin and yang. Reality and illusion. Positive and negative. Everything in the world has both reality and illusion, positive and negative sides. Laws are the same. There are laws representing reality and laws representing illusion. Causality is an illusionary law, and the law of fate is also an illusionary law. They hide behind the world, representing the illusionary side of the entire world. Although invisible and inaudible, they truly exist and can be comprehended. As long as the right method is used, they can be touched. Compared to illusionary laws, reality laws can be touched and felt. Even seemingly intangible laws like time and space are actually reality laws. The House Saint Sovereign's void law, although it has void in its name, is actually a reality law. Illusionary laws are like an invisible web, secretly covering the entire world and influencing it. They are interconnected, and compared to them, reality laws have a smaller scope of influence.
As his soul murmured, each sentence echoed like thunder in the soul world. The more he spoke, the clearer his understanding of the world became. His old worldview merged with the cloud mist sect's philosophy, giving Lin Moyu a clearer and more thorough understanding of the world. At this moment, his soul realm began to rise dramatically. His soul entered a state of enlightenment. 1972, 1972. Chapter 1972. Am I a celestial sovereign or a saint sovereign? Since Lin Moyu's soul reached the other shore realm, it had been elevated once, but the increase was not significant. It remained at the peak of the initial stage of the other shore realm, just one step away from the middle stage. The soul realm of the other shore can be divided into 3 stages: initial, middle, and high. The souls of saint sovereigns are all at the high stage of the other shore realm. The higher the realm, the greater the difference between each stage. Therefore, in ancient times, ordinary other shore realm beings were considered cannon fodder, while saint sovereigns could become the main force. In fact, the other shore realm and saint sovereigns are part of the same major realm. After understanding the essence of the world, Lin Moyu established a new worldview, and his soul entered a state of enlightenment. In almost the blink of an eye, his soul realm crossed the boundaries of the initial and middle stages of the other shore realm. After reaching the middle stage, it continued to rise rapidly. At this moment, Lin Moyu was unaware of his situation. In his state of enlightenment, his thoughts were racing, continuously gaining new insights into the world. Various principles of the world and the possibilities of existence converged into a sea in Lin Moyu's mind. Gradually, he began to understand how to construct a rule world. He realized why there was such a significant difference between ordinary other shore realm beings and saint sovereigns who possessed rule worlds. He also understood the difference between the rule worlds of supremes and saint sovereigns. His past experiences played a significant role at this moment, becoming Lin Moyu's accumulation. All his knowledge converged at this moment. His soul realm continued to rise, approaching the level of a saint sovereign. The world tree also benefited from Lin Moyu's enlightenment, becoming stronger. The world tree was Lin Moyu's innate talent, and the two were interdependent, sharing in each other's glory. Lin Moyu's soul enlightenment also brought great benefits to the world tree. On its branches, the fastest-growing world fruit began to mature, nourished by the enlightenment. The world fruit became plump and rosy, emitting an enticing luster, and a faint fragrance spread from it. At this moment, Lin Moyu's soul realm was just one step away from the high stage of the other shore realm. The state of enlightenment was nearing its end, and the aura of enlightenment gradually calmed and began to fade. At this moment, his soul smelled the fragrance of the world fruit, and with a wave of his hand, Lin Moyu took the world fruit. Then, a torrent of multicolored water surged out, with 1,000 drops pouring into the world fruit. The power of belief also burned fiercely, with millions of units of belief power instantly merging into the world fruit. The already mature world fruit's effect was exponentially enhanced. The 7-colored light became dazzling, influenced by the multicolored water, displaying various hues. Lin Moyu's soul showed satisfaction. Just as he was about to consume the world fruit, a hazy light from the infinite fusion technique star shot down, enveloping the world fruit. In an instant, all the colors converged, replaced by a hazy, chaotic color. Lin Moyu couldn't describe this color, but it was identical to the infinite fusion technique.
Chaos law.
Still in the final stage of enlightenment, Lin Moyu's thoughts were sharper than usual. In an instant, he understood that this peculiar color belonged to the chaos law. In his new worldview, laws could be divided into two categories: real and illusory. However, the chaos law was between reality and illusion, both real and illusory. After exhaling a breath, the hazy light returned to its 33 heavens, still high above, overlooking all beings.
This is a true powerhouse.
Lin Moyu murmured, then consumed the world fruit. The world fruit could be consumed by the physical body or the soul with the same effect. The world fruit exploded, causing the entire soul world to rumble. A terrifying power emerged out of thin air, stirring a storm in the soul world.
Rule power.
Lin Moyu felt this power and realized it belonged to the other shore realm's rule power. A rule world is constructed from rule power. After the appearance of rule power, the first step was to rush to the soul. It helped push the soul, instantly elevating it to the high stage of the other shore realm, the realm of a saint sovereign. With his soul achieving the saint sovereign realm, Lin Moyu understood that only a soul at the saint sovereign realm could bear the rule world. The power of the world fruit was far from exhausted, and a large amount of rule power continued to stir a fierce storm in the soul world. The already vast soul world expanded even further under the storm's push. The purple jade barrier glowed brightly, becoming increasingly solid. In the blink of an eye, the soul world expanded tenfold. At this moment, Lin Moyu finally understood what it meant to form a rule world.
Originally, the rule world is the sublimation of the soul world. Using the soul world as a core, the rule world evolves. If the soul is not strong enough, it cannot bear the rule world. But besides the soul, physical strength is equally important.
The purple gold body burst into golden light, connecting the physical strength with the rule world, further enhancing its power. With the formation of the rule world, the entire world became vast and empty, with the technique stars becoming the stars within the rule world. Lin Moyu's soul and the world tree became the center of this rule world. The entire rule world could be freely controlled by Lin Moyu. He could create continents, turning the rule world into a vast land. He could also create stars and make it a galaxy. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and decided to use the Great World as a template to construct his rule world. However, this would have to wait until he returned to the Great World. Constructing his rule world within the rule world of a celestial sovereign was unrealistic. The necessary laws couldn't be sensed here. Moreover, Lin Moyu knew that upon returning to the real world, a great baptism awaited him.
Unexpectedly, a single enlightenment allowed me to form the rule world. I wonder, am I now a celestial sovereign or a saint sovereign?
Lin Moyu thought that his unique situation might have never been seen even in ancient times. When he returned, he estimated that the Hao Saint Sovereign would be greatly surprised.
Don't think too much. It's time to comprehend the luck detection technique.
Lin Moyu officially began to comprehend the luck detection technique. It wasn't complicated, and Lin Moyu could easily master it. Especially now, after understanding that the essence of the luck detection technique was the law of causality. Learning it became even easier. The luck detection technique merely involved invoking a trace of the law of causality to detect someone's current luck. The law of causality is intangible and difficult to comprehend, but it had nothing to do with the luck detection technique. Lin Moyu didn't need to comprehend the law of causality. He just needed to master the luck detection technique and learn how to use it, just like the Buddha's true sight technique, which invokes a trace of the law of fate. He didn't need to understand the law of fate. He just needed to use the true sight technique. With Lin Moyu's ability, mastering the luck detection technique was not difficult. In no time, he understood the essence of the luck detection technique and could use it. The mist absorbed into his soul also condensed at this moment, forming a technique star. Compared to other technique stars, this newly born star was pitifully small. 1973, 1973. Chapter 1973. I seem to have a few great-granddaughters. The completion of the spell planet signifies that Lin Moyu has already mastered the
luck detection technique.
Moreover, with his understanding of the laws of causality and the real and virtual worlds, Combined with his soul at the Saint Sovereign level, the fusion rate of the luck detection technique reached over 50% as soon as he mastered it. Next, he needed to increase the fusion rate to 99%. Since this is a spell acquired postnatally, it is normally impossible to achieve a 100% fusion rate. 99% is the limit. The branches of the world tree drooped, and a large amount of soul power was injected into the spell planet. The spell planet began to spin rapidly, and the fusion rate continued to increase. Lin Moyu's soul is now extremely strong, and his insights are sufficient to push the luck detection technique to 99%. Outside, Lin Moyu slowly opened his eyes. This time, the somewhat cute Lord Wu was watching Lin Moyu from a distance, not daring to approach. Her expression seemed to carry a hint of fear. Lin Moyu asked curiously,
"What's wrong with you?"
Lord Wu murmured.
"You were very scary just now."
Lin Moyu had been in a state of enlightenment and was unaware of his physical condition, so he could only shake his head, indicating he didn't know. Lord Wu cautiously said,
"You have cultivated the purple gold body, and you just had an enlightenment. Also, you established a rule world, right?"
As the spirit of the inheritance tower, she has existed for countless years. The number of ancient strong people must have been much greater than now. She must have seen many people at the level of the other shore, Saint Sovereign and Supreme. Although she seems a bit muddled, she understands many things she should understand. Moreover, the illusory mist Heavenly Sovereign was obviously good to her. If the illusory mist Heavenly Sovereign had given lectures, she would likely have listened. So, whether it was the purple gold body, enlightenment, or the rule world, she could not be deceived. Lin Moyu admitted frankly,
"Lord Wu is very smart. Everything you said is correct."
Lord Wu snorted.
"Of course I am smart, but how did you do it?"
She flew around Lin Moyu in circles, looking him over.
"You are a divine sovereign, and cultivating the purple gold body is already very impressive. But you can even achieve enlightenment. The old master said that those who can achieve enlightenment are 1 in a billion, a great fortune. That's not all. How can you establish a rule world? You are not even a saint sovereign."
Lord Wu seemed to have no guile and didn't know that some questions shouldn't be asked. Lin Moyu didn't mind.
"Maybe I'm just lucky."
Section 2262/23692263. Lord Wu clearly didn't believe it.
"Do you think I'm so easy to fool? If you don't want to say, then don't. What's the big deal? You have achieved enlightenment, so you should have mastered the luck detection technique. You can start the challenge now."
Lin Moyu asked.
"Please explain the method of the challenge, Lord Wu."
Although Lord Wu was a bit spoiled, she didn't dare to be too harsh on Lin Moyu, who was very likely to become her new master. She followed the rules and pointed to the stone tablet deep in the space.
"Just use the luck detection technique on it. It will send you to the corresponding floor based on your mastery of the technique."
Lin Moyu nodded.
"Thank you, Lord Wu."
He walked to the depths, waved his hand at the stone tablet, and used the luck detection technique. A number appeared on the stone tablet, 50. At the same time, a color that only he could see appeared on the stone tablet, green. In the luck detection technique, the highest luck is 100, red. That means great fortune. Everything will go smoothly, and wishes will come true. If it is 50 in green, it means ordinary luck with unpredictable outcomes. Simple things might succeed while difficult things might fail. If the value is below 25 in gray, it means very bad luck. If you encounter danger at this time, death is not impossible. Luck is an elusive thing, deeply connected to the laws of causality, making it hard to grasp. Before understanding the laws of causality, Lin Moyu could only know the phenomenon without understanding the reason. Anyway, as long as he could fully master the spell, it was fine. A few seconds later, the stone tablet emitted light that enveloped Lin Moyu. The scene in front of him rippled like water, and Lin Moyu felt he had experienced a brief teleportation. When his vision returned to normal, he saw Lord Wu again. Lord Wu said in surprise,
"You have completely mastered it."
Before Lin Moyu could speak, she muttered to herself,
Oh, you have achieved enlightenment, and even understood the concept of the cloud mist sect. The luck detection technique is nothing.
Lin Moyu asked.
Lord Wu, have I reached the 4th floor?
Lord Wu nodded.
The old rules still apply. The mist you need to comprehend is in the center.
The rules hadn't changed. Lin Moyu went to the center again, communicated with the mist with his soul, and began a new comprehension. At the foot of Cloud Mist Mountain, Saint Sovereign House saw the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors of the Inheritance Tower light up simultaneously. He couldn't help but clench his fist and shout.
Good.
The changes in the Inheritance Tower also caught the attention of the village's old ancestors.
He has entered the Inheritance Tower. Not only entered, but also reached the 4th floor.
Someone sneered.
You talk as if you know the rules of the Inheritance Tower. Well, I don't know the rules, but reaching the 4th floor is definitely not ordinary. I have hundreds of granddaughters and thousands of great-granddaughters who can marry him. Don't act like I don't have granddaughters. My granddaughters can marry too.
A group of old guys shamelessly argued, and the young people could only retreat. The old guys in the village all wanted to marry their granddaughters to Lin Moyu. The number of granddaughters added up to tens of thousands. Saint Sovereign Hao's eyebrows twitched as he listened.
How can these old guys be so shameless? I seem to have a few great-granddaughters too.
On the 4th floor of the Inheritance Tower, Lin Moyu communicated with the mist with his soul. The mist entered his soul world again and directly found the spell planet where the luck detection technique was located. At the same time, Lin Moyu received the spell information. This time, the spell was much more difficult than the luck detection technique. It was not a new spell but an upgrade of the luck detection technique. The spell was called the
luck control technique,
which could control luck. For example, it could increase or decrease luck, whether for oneself or others. However, the degree of control varied from person to person. Some could increase luck from 50 to 80, while others could only increase it to 60 or even 55. The same applied to decreasing luck. The luck affected by the luck control technique was temporary and would disappear after a certain time. The duration of the effect was related to the caster's strength.
To think it can control luck.
Lin Moyu was slightly surprised, but he thought of the mysterious power in the Cloud Mist Mountain test, which suppressed his luck.
Controlling luck involves more laws of causality, and should have restrictions, not to be used casually. If facing someone with particularly strong luck, suppressing their luck might backfire.
The spell didn't explicitly state this, but Lin Moyu, with his superficial understanding of the laws of causality, deduced some information. The luck control technique, like the real and virtual worlds, had two sides and couldn't be used arbitrarily. Used well, it was a sharp blade to defeat enemies. Used poorly, it was a quick knife to harm oneself. 1974. Chapter 1974. Adjusting Luck, Bearing Karma. Lin Moyu quickly learned and comprehended the luck control technique, deeply realizing that it was an evolution of the luck detection technique. Manipulating the elusive luck was extremely difficult. It involved more laws of causality. Lin Moyu strongly resisted the urge to comprehend the laws of causality, focusing only on studying the luck control technique. Once he started researching the laws of causality, it wouldn't be resolved in a short time. It might take hundreds of years. For now, he would remain someone who knows the phenomenon but not the reason behind it. However, Lin Moyu still realized that the luck control technique, like his undead wings and time curse, could serve as a reference for the laws of causality.
In the future, when there's an opportunity, I can study it thoroughly.
Lin Moyu's heart was already attracted by the laws of causality. This kind of virtual law, like the laws of time and space, had a fatal attraction. He had a feeling that to reach the ultimate peak, one needed to combine the virtual and the real. The combination of virtual and real, the mutual reflection of yin and yang, was the essence of this world. The luck control technique was not easy, but fortunately, Lin Moyu's comprehension was sufficient, and it didn't stump him. Before long, he had comprehended and mastered the luck control technique. The mist that originally enveloped the spell planet quickly merged into it, integrating with the luck detection technique. Lin Moyu found that his newly mastered luck detection technique had disappeared, replaced by the upgraded version of the luck control technique. The luck control technique had all the functions of the luck detection technique, including detecting luck, while also adding control capabilities. After all the mist merged into the spell planet formed by the luck detection technique, the spell planet began to rotate rapidly. The speed increased, and even lightning appeared on it. The scene seemed familiar. Lin Moyu was slightly surprised.
Is this going to evolve?
Previously, when a spell evolved, the spell planet turned into a spell star, and the process seemed to be like this. After the rotation reached a certain degree, the entire planet suddenly exploded. Then, a spell star radiating bright light rose from the center of the explosion.
The spell planet actually evolved into a spell star.
Lin Moyu was truly shocked this time. What happened before his eyes once again overturned his understanding. He thought of what Antares had once said, that spells mastered later in life without heaven-defying opportunities could not become spell stars. But right now, where was the heaven-defying opportunity? How did it evolve? This was too incredible. Lin Moyu couldn't figure it out at all. However, this also made Lin Moyu realize how powerful the Cloud Mist sect was as an ancient great sect. The so-called heaven-defying opportunity was nothing more than the inheritance within the Cloud Mist sect. But upon careful sensing, the newly born spell star was different from his other spell stars. At the moment of the star's birth, although there was a big bang, no black hole appeared where the Great World runes could be seen. Compared to his other spell stars, it seemed a bit weaker. Lin Moyu regained consciousness. Lord Wu seemed a bit impatient and immediately asked,
How was it? Did you learn it?
She seemed a bit hesitant, but also excited. It was as if she both hoped Lin Moyu could learn it and hoped he couldn't. This contradictory thought was clearly visible in her expression. Lin Moyu looked towards the distant stone tablet.
We're still using the stone tablet as a test subject, right?
Lord Wu said,
That's right. There are 3 stone tablets there, each with different luck. You need to adjust their luck to be close to each other. The difference between the lowest and highest cannot exceed 10 points. All right.
Lin Moyu walked towards the stone tablets. The requirement was that the difference should not exceed 10 points to pass. But this was just the basics. To get a better score, he needed to make the luck values of the stone tablets even closer, preferably identical. Arriving in front of the stone tablets, Lin Moyu activated the newly mastered luck control technique. The 3 stone tablets immediately displayed their respective luck values. The left stone tablet had a value of 80, showing a light red color. The middle stone tablet had a value of 60, showing green. The right stone tablet had a value of 40, showing light green. When luck exceeds 80, the color changes from green to red. As luck increases, the red becomes deeper. Once luck falls below 20, it turns gray, indicating very poor luck. Whatever one does won't go smoothly. Between 21 and 79, it shows varying shades of green, indicating normal luck. Whether things can be accomplished depends on their difficulty. The luck of the stone tablets, because it doesn't involve other things, has a very low probability of change. Living beings are different. Because they are constantly active, their luck values are always changing. A single word, a thought, or something about to be done can all affect the luck value. The luck control technique can only reflect the luck value at this moment in time. Following the method of the luck control technique, Lin Moyu began to adjust the luck values of the stone tablets. Using the middle stone tablet as a benchmark, he needed to lower the luck value of the left stone tablet. As the luck control technique was activated, the stone tablet's luck value immediately changed. It changed from light red to deep green, and the value changed from 80 to 79. At this time, Lin Moyu felt his soul seemed to be under some pressure, a force from the unknown falling on his soul.
This is karma. I adjusted the stone tablet's luck value, showing a cause, and must bear the stone tablet's effect. What this effect is, I can't be certain, but the karma has been established, and I must bear this effect.
Lin Moyu's mind was clear as a mirror, immediately understanding what was happening. The law of karma is like an invisible great net, existing in the illusory aspect of the great world. Everything done normally establishes karma. For every cause, there must be an effect. These karmic relationships are constantly being established and broken. Some karma cancels out while some accumulates. The great net of the law of karma operates like this in the illusory world, and no one can escape it. Previously, he couldn't sense karma, only seeing karmic lines in specific situations. That was the law of karma manifesting, basically not very useful. Now, he had received part of the cloud mist sex inheritance. Through the luck control technique, he could finally sense the karma falling on him. Lin Moyu gained new insights into karma, but his hands didn't stop, continuing to adjust the values. From unfamiliarity to proficiency, Lin Moyu's adjustment speed became faster and faster. As the stone tablet's luck decreased, more and more karma fell on him, and the resistance to adjustment also increased. Soul power was being rapidly consumed. Adjusting another's luck required enormous soul power. Fortunately, Lin Moyu's soul replenishment speed was fast, so this consumption wasn't much. In just 5 minutes, Lin Moyu fixed the left stone tablet's luck value at 60. Not a point more, not a point less.
It seems a bit simple.
The adjustment was too simple, making Lin Moyu feel a bit strange. He felt that any high-level divine sovereign could do this. Thinking is one thing, doing is another. Next was adjusting the right stone tablet, this time to increase the luck value. Again, karma was established. Unlike lowering the luck value, when increasing the luck value, Lin Moyu found that his soul bore even greater pressure. Not only was soul power consumption intensified, but a sense of emptiness also arose spontaneously, and his body became heavy. Lin Moyu realized that increasing luck was not easy. He had to bear greater karma. Just as he was adjusting, he suddenly discovered that the luck value of the left stone tablet had started to slowly rise again.
So the difficulty lies here.
1975. Chapter 1975. Advanced Inheritance, Luck Like a Dragon. The stone tablet demonstrated to Lin Moyu that even inanimate objects have constantly changing luck values. The luck value of the stone tablet was 80. No matter how Lin Moyu adjusted it, whether increasing or decreasing, it would return to its original value after a period of time. This was just an inanimate object. If it were a living being, the changes would be even more drastic. At the same time, Lin Moyu realized that the luck control technique must be used at the most critical moment. Using it too early or too late would not work. Facing the slowly rising luck value of the left stone tablet, Lin Moyu once again used the luck control technique to adjust its luck value. Multitasking was not difficult for Lin Moyu. This time, the speed was faster than before. In just 2 minutes, the luck values were adjusted. The luck values of the 3 stone tablets all steadily reached 60, appearing identical. However, Lin Moyu continued to make fine adjustments. He noticed that although the values were the same, the colors still had slight differences. He realized that merely looking at the precision of the values was not enough. Ordinary cultivators might not notice this, as the differences were already very small. But it couldn't escape his sharp soul, which allowed him to clearly sense the distinctions. After another half-minute of adjustments, the 3 stone tablets not only had the same values but also the same colors with no slightest difference. Lin Moyu maintained this state for about 10 seconds. The stone tablets simultaneously vibrated, and his connection with them was severed. The 3 stone tablets simultaneously emitted brilliant light, and the scene in front of him rippled like water again. When the scene became clear again, Lin Moyu knew he had reached another level.
It should be the 7th level.
Lin Moyu believed he had done perfectly. If even he couldn't reach the 7th level, it would be even harder for others. Lord Wu appeared in his sight, her expression still filled with disbelief. Although she had been shocked many times, she couldn't help but be shocked again.
How did you do it? How did you pass in one go?
Lin Moyu smiled.
It didn't seem difficult.
Lord Wu exclaimed.
How could it not be difficult? Very few people can pass in one go. Even if you can adjust the luck values to be the same, you can only be transported to the 6th level at most. To reach the 7th level, you need to adjust the colors to be the same on top of having the same luck values. Adjusting the luck values is easy, but adjusting the colors is difficult. It requires multitasking, and very few people can do it. You are really amazing. Oh no, I'm going to have a new master, and I'll have endless work to do.
Lord Wu seemed very worried about her future, looking distressed. Lin Moyu laughed.
Don't worry, even if I become your new master, you won't have too much work.
Lord Wu's eyes lit up.
Really?
Lin Moyu smiled.
I promise.
Saying this, he walked towards the center of the 7th level to receive the new inheritance. At the foot of Cloud Mist Mountain, Saint Sovereign House saw the inheritance tower light up to the 7th level and let out a low shout.
Well done!
Then his eyes flickered, and he muttered to himself,
Besides my great-granddaughters, I also have a few disciples, and my disciples seem to have granddaughters too.
Unconsciously, Saint Sovereign House thoughts were led astray by the village's shameless old men. Section 2264/23692265. Inheritance Tower, 7th Level, Advanced Inheritance. Apart from the Supreme Inheritance, this was already the highest inheritance in the Cloud Mist sect. Even in the past, few people in the Cloud Mist sect could reach this level. Most disciples reached their limit with a luck control technique. The mist still enveloped the spell star of the luck control technique, making Lin Moyu realize that the spell star could still be improved.
Could it be that it can be upgraded to a white star level? That would be too heaven-defying.
A large amount of information poured into his soul, and Lin Moyu immediately calmed his mind to accept the inheritance. The third inheritance was the luck explosion technique, still a control over luck, a further sublimation of the luck control technique. Compared to the gentleness of the luck control technique, the luck explosion technique became extremely intense. The luck explosion technique had two uses. One was to detonate the opponent's luck, directly attacking the opponent with the power of karma. The strength of the luck explosion attack depended on one's soul power, luck, and the opponent's luck. Generally speaking, the stronger one's soul power and the higher one's luck value, and the lower the opponent's luck value, the greater the power. If the two were of similar strength and luck, the luck explosion technique would not be very effective. However, the Cloud Mist sect, as an ancient great sect, had naturally considered this. The luck explosion technique could become their advanced inheritance, so it couldn't be useless. Besides detonating the opponent's luck, the luck explosion technique could also detonate one's own luck. Here, detonation meant making one's own luck skyrocket. First, use the luck explosion technique to make one's own luck skyrocket. Then use the luck control technique to weaken the opponent's luck. Finally, use the luck explosion technique to detonate the opponent's luck. With the increase and decrease, the opponent would suffer a terrible karmic attack. According to the inheritance, as long as the luck explosion technique was practiced to the extreme, one would be invincible in the same realm.
It's truly a heaven-defying spell. The predecessor who created this spell must have been a genius. How did they come up with this, using luck to trigger the laws of karma for an attack without understanding the laws of karma?
Lin Moyu admired the Cloud Mist sect immensely. The person who thought of this spell must have been a heavenly sovereign. As far as he knew, even Supremes couldn't reach this level. Although the luck explosion technique was powerful, it had a drawback. It was extremely difficult to comprehend. Lin Moyu found from the inheritance that without understanding the Cloud Mist sect's worldview, one could only grasp a superficial understanding of the luck explosion technique, making it difficult to achieve the invincibility described in the inheritance. The Cloud Mist sect had many powerful offensive spells. Even just using the luck control technique in combination with them was already astonishingly powerful. As Lin Moyu comprehended the luck explosion technique, he realized that the previous luck detection technique and luck control technique were all preparations for the luck explosion technique. This spell was the true culmination. Lin Moyu now eagerly anticipated what the supreme inheritance would be. Comprehending the luck explosion technique was not like before. Even Lin Moyu needed to spend a lot of time integrating his understanding of the virtual and real worlds with it. Time passed slowly, and Lin Moyu sat cross-legged, motionless. Lord Wu seemed a bit bored, looking at Lin Moyu from left to right. She didn't disturb Lin Moyu, but her eyes were always filled with worry. If Lin Moyu really became her new master, she wondered how he would treat her. Where had her old master gone? Why was he missing? Although Lord Wu was a spirit, her emotions were rich, no less than any living being. 30 days later, Lin Moyu's long-still aura fluctuated again. A strong aura rose from his body, and an invisible force swirled above his head, like clouds and mist, faintly emitting a dragon's roar. Upon closer inspection, there was indeed a dragon swirling in the clouds and mist, majestic and powerful. Lord Wu's eyes widened.
Luck like a dragon. It really is luck like a dragon. His luck is too strong.
1. 1976, 1976.